Elias Wren had always imagined that humanity's first true contact with alien civilization would unfold with grand speeches, historic treaties, and a sense of universal unity. He never thought it would begin with a job posting he found on a dusty interstellar message board while waiting for a cargo shuttle. The listing was simple, vague, and strangely poetic. Labor needed in the village of Haruvel. High pay, cultural immersion, long-term opportunity. After years of drifting from planet to planet doing odd work, Elias barely hesitated. A steady job was a steady job, no matter which species offered it. And besides, he had always been curious about the outer fringes of known space. The coordinates were strange, the message even stranger, but he accepted. When Elias stepped off the shuttle onto the pale blue soil of Haruvel, the first thing he noticed was the silence. Not an empty silence, more like a warm, waiting one. The village was made of coral-like structures shaped into smooth, organic curves, glowing faintly with internal bioluminescence. Tall, slender beings watched him with luminous silver eyes, their skin a gradient of soft violet and sky blue. They moved gracefully, almost gliding rather than walking. One of them approached him, placing a hand over its chest. "Welcome, traveler. I am Saren, elder of this village. You must be Elias Wren." Their voice was melodic, neither fully masculine nor feminine, but soothing. Elias nodded, "Try not to stare too much. I heard you needed a worker." The elder's eyes brightened. "Indeed, our people have a role of great importance. You were chosen after careful review." Chosen? Elias wondered. He was used to being the last pick for anything meaningful. He was led through the village, introduced to their customs, and shown his living quarters. Everything looked peaceful, simple, and strangely beautiful. The Haruvians treated him with gentle respect, offering food, conversation, and even lessons in their language. Elias felt more welcomed than he ever had in any human colony. But something was off. Every villager looked at him with an expression he couldn't place, something like hope mixed with desperation. And although they were polite, they avoided telling him the exact nature of the job. The first week passed uneventfully. Elias helped repair structures, carried supplies, and learned to navigate their winding coral pathways. But he noticed something: no children. Not a single young Haruvian anywhere. He didn't even hear playful laughter or see smaller living quarters. One evening, after a festival of soft lights and drifting music, Elias finally asked Saren directly, "Why am I really here? You keep saying my role is important, but important how?" The elder paused. Their glowing eyes dimmed slightly, a sign Elias had learned meant sorrow. "Because our kind is dying, Elias." The air felt suddenly heavier. Saren led him to a quiet chamber lined with shimmering crystals that pulsed like tiny hearts. "Centuries ago," they said, "our species suffered a genetic collapse. We lost the ability to bear life. Many villages have vanished. Haruvel is among the few remaining, but our hope grows thin." Elias swallowed. "I'm sorry. I don't understand what that has to do with me." The elder turned to him fully. "Your DNA is compatible with ours. Your biology contains what we have lost. You were not hired for labor, Elias Wren." A soft, sorrowful silence followed. "Your job is to help us continue our lineage." Elias felt the ground steady beneath him, yet his mind spun. "You mean you want me to make babies? With your people?" Saren nodded. "Not in the human sense. Our reproduction is more ceremonial, spiritual, and biological. But yes, without your help, our village will fade." Elias sat down slowly. He had accepted jobs that were dangerous, exhausting, and mind-numbing, but never one like this. He wasn't sure whether to laugh, panic, or walk back to the shuttle port. But as he looked into Saren's eyes, he saw no manipulation, no cold calculation, only fragile hope. The weight of an entire species rested on a single human drifter who had spent most of his life believing he mattered to no one. "Why me?" he whispered. Saren placed a hand gently on his shoulder. "Because you answered. You came when others would not. Sometimes fate chooses those who doubt themselves most." The nights in Haruvel were breathtaking. The sky shimmered with twin moons and drifting auroras that moved like living ribbons. Elias often sat outside, thinking about the villagers, their kindness, their quiet resilience, their hidden sorrow. He thought about the children that could exist because of him, beings who would grow up in peace, in beauty, in a world that needed them desperately. Eventually, he made his decision. "I'll stay," he told Saren. "I'll help however I can." The elder bowed deeply, a gesture of profound gratitude. "You give us a future, Elias Wren, and in return, we will give you a home." The process was nothing like human reproduction. It involved a chamber of woven crystal vines, gentle bioluminescent currents, and a merging of genetic essence guided by Haruvian healers. It was scientific, sacred, and strangely serene. There was no intimacy forced upon him, only cooperation, dignity, and choice at every step. Weeks turned into months. Elias participated in ceremonies, worked alongside the villagers, and slowly watched new life begin to take root. He saw tiny glowing pods form inside crystal nurseries, each one a symbol of the future he had helped restore. One day, Saren led him to the birthing chamber. Inside were 5 small Haruvians, newborns with soft, flickering light beneath their skin. They gazed at him with innocence, curiosity, and a hint of human warmth. Elias felt something break open inside him, something he didn't know he had been missing his entire life. A sense of belonging, a sense of purpose. The villagers celebrated, singing harmonies that filled the air with vibrations like gentle waves. Elias stood in the center of the celebration, surrounded by gratitude he didn't know how to accept. Saren approached him with a serene smile. "You arrived a stranger. You stay as family." As the months passed, Haruvel flourished again. More newborns came, more laughter, more life. Elias wasn't just a worker. He was a guardian of an entire heritage. And though he had once drifted through the galaxy, seeking any place to call home, he found it in the last place he expected. An alien village that saw him not as an outsider, but as their hope. In the end, Elias realized something profound. He had taken a job to escape loneliness, but he found a purpose that would echo for generations. And the village of Haruvel, once fading, now pulsed with new life, each heartbeat carrying a piece of him into the future.